pretty excited. We had let it known that we have Sandy McClure is actually joining us tonight and actually going to be training you. And we had the privilege of hearing her, and I remember hearing her back at an Elite call. They had asked her to train. And again, elites are people that are doing over 100,000 a month or more in sales. So big time group there. And she really has the best customer retention in the company. And, with our customer bucket, that is huge these days. So, I'm really, really excited to hear her. I understand she was at Evolve when we were all down in New Orleans. I did not know that. I wish I had. I certainly would have been in there with my notepad and stuff. So I understand you have 5 diamond. Are you diamond 5 times over, Sandy?
4.
All right. Well, hey,
so you're between 16 and 20,000, right? That you're in between there.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
That is great.
Yeah. And you all know exactly. Make sure you're letting them in, Bobby. You know how important that is. I'm just letting more people in. You know how important that is, particularly, with our new enhanced compensation plan. So I'm going to read a little bit about her bio. Just a reminder for all of you, Tuesday night, again, we do have our collagen launch at 8:30 East Coast time. So, certainly you want to be inviting to that. And also, if you have any questions while she's talking, make sure that you put them in the chat, and then we'll get your questions answered as we always do after. But I'm going to introduce Sandy McClure. Again, I am super, super excited to have her. One of the things that I found, Bobby and I, we have a diamond business. We, have almost 8,000 in customer sales each month. But I find it a lot to juggle. And I find a lot of the retention is so important. And I remember the first time I heard her, she had such cool things that she did to really make her customers feel warm and not leave it up to the company. So you're really going to enjoy this. But Sandy is a mom of 3 grown daughters. She's a Grammy to 3 grandkids. Love that, because I'm a Grammy too. So she lives in Creede, Colorado with her second husband, Randy, which was a gentleman she dated in college from 1982 to 83. She's got to be about the same age as us then, and reconnected in 2012. So that's so nice. She formerly is a teacher. We know teachers do real well in this business. So she was a teacher coach. She did not start direct sales until she was already 48 years of age. So again, wasn't one of these Instagram, Facebook type of people at an early age. She's an 8-year breast cancer survivor. That is huge there. Congrats on that. So this is really cool. And I love this. And this is kind of what Bobby and I's business looks like too. Her husband's a Pro 4. Her daughter, Morgan, is a Pro 6. Her husband, I said, is a Pro 4. Her daughter, Bethany, is a Pro 4. Her daughter, Lindsay, is a Pro 4, very close to a Pro 5. So it's so nice when you realize the value of a business like this. You really want it for your whole family. And a lot of times they don't see it right away. Your family, your immediate friends can be the hardest people to, actually get involved in the business. But I love that she's shared this through her family, and she's just got a huge heart for this business. And, I'm just going to turn it back over to you and bring up your slides, and it's all yours. And so thank you so much for being here. I'm excited to hear it.
All right. Well, thank you. And I'm totally honored to be here. Thank you so much. I'm just going to show the screen that I shared at Evolve. And if you have any questions, like they said, go ahead and put them in the chat. Want you all to know that there's nothing special about me. I'm just a plain old gal. But April did talk about heart, and I do have a big heart, and I love to give, and I love, I know what it feels like when someone treats me very well and makes me feel valued. And so I like to reciprocate that to people all across the board when they're associated with anything that I do. I want them to feel like they matter. And so, I will tell you, because I don't have that in here, the sacrifice that we have as, I hope that you're doing this for a business, because if you treat it like a business, it'll pay you like a business. If you treat it like a hobby, it'll pay you like a hobby. And usually hobbies cost a lot of money. And so you need to think about the sacrifices that you're going to have to make. For instance, it's a Sunday evening and I'm working. And a lot of people have weekends off and they have evenings off. And that's when we tend to go to work. So you're going to have to be willing to step outside your comfort zone and sacrifice some of your time to build. And then some of those people will see that you have that and they'll want to join you. So if you ever follow me on Facebook, you'll see I'm out during the day. I'm going on 2.5, 3-hour hikes and things like that. And people say, I love your life. But what they don't know is that I do sacrifice a lot of my evenings and my weekends to build my business. And so this is not easy. It's pretty simple, but in my opinion, it's not easy, but it's worth it so much. If you are not a product of the product, I'm going to talk about this. If you have not tried every product, when we get off tonight or tomorrow morning, first thing you need to do is call corporate and ask them to place an order for you for the Elite Pack so that you can get familiar with these products, because in my opinion, that is the best investment that you can make in your business, is to have the experience. And I'll talk a little bit about that. You know, to me, this is an insurance policy, just like anything. I pay the premium every month to have great insurance for what the future can bring. So setting yourself up for success real quickly. Again, be a product of the product. I know what these products do for me. I can't tell you what they're going to do for you, but I know what they do for me because I use every single product. The only product that I didn't use on a consistent basis was the protein, and it's going away. But every other product I use, and my dog is on Pet Tandem. And so I know what these products, once again, can do for me. And I have the power to speak that confidence behind them because of that. You have to think about the law of attraction. What, you know, as far as you being attractive, what are people going to, what's going to gravitate them toward you? That list that we talk about, creating a list, I'll be honest with you, I have it up here, but I work from a list a little bit, but mostly memory. And thank goodness for activation. I have a great memory at the age of 58. You'll want to know a little bit about starting the conversation. That might be some of the hardest part for you guys. And then the follow-up and retention. I had to really think about what it is that I do that makes that happen. But if you think about your best experience when you've bought something or purchased something or done something, think about what it was that made you feel good, and would you go back and buy something from somebody? So you have to a lot of times look in the mirror. That is huge. And then handling rejection, that's easy for me. I'm 58, nothing scares me, nothing bothers me. I just move on. So when you talk about being a product of the product, if you don't have a product story, now's the time to think about, how can I create a story? How can I become, how can I start attracting people? And Bobby's a great example of this. You know, I think that he's cut down a lot of weight. I saw that on Facebook, and I noticed that, and people are going to go, wow, what are you doing? And how do I get that? That's going to come from Bobby, people knowing Bobby from a long time ago. That's not going to be from somebody just meeting Bobby. They're going to go, man, I know that guy has a lot of integrity. He's a person of his word. He does what he says he's going to do. And I'm going to find out what he's doing, because whatever he's doing, I'm doing it. Same thing here. 5/22/20. I had just lost my mother. That was the day that she died. I was able to, because of direct sales, and I was in another company prior to this that I still promote their products, but they changed their comp plan. Talk about, they changed their comp plan completely different. We lost everything. LifeVantage, you guys have no idea what this comp plan, if you don't know, you don't know. This is an amazing comp plan, and you really need to take advantage of it. But I was afforded the opportunity to be with my mom the last 6 years of her life. I just happened to be around when she needed to go to the grocery store, happened to be around when she needed to get her hair fixed. I was able to spend a lot of time with her. And in that last 6 months, it was during COVID, we tried to find a place for her to go be, because she needed more help, and we couldn't find a place. So I actually got a townhome and rented it, and she moved in with me. And I didn't know if that was going to be for 5 years, 5 months, 5 weeks, 5 days. I didn't know. She was healthy, but it ended up being that we started that in January. Then COVID hit, and then I think mom was just like, this is nonsense. I'm done. I'm ready to go to heaven. So she lived a great 5 months, and it took a little bit of a toll on me, and that's a picture of me in 20. And mom said, Sandy, I hope when I'm gone that you start taking better care of yourself. And so I made a promise to her, and I kept my word. And there I am in September of 22, right after a knee surgery, and totally activated, feeling great. There's also some pictures of me on the collagen. I know the lighting's a little bit off, but guys, that collagen is the real deal. And so I have a lot of testimonies out there, but I have my own story as well. And so if you're sharing a lot of testimonies, but you're not sharing something about you, you need to think about that seriously. So your testimony and your photographs create added trust. They see that you're walking the walk and talking the talk. And here's my deal, guys. And like I said, with the Elite Pack, I invested in the Elite Pack. I wanted to know what every single product did. And back in the day when I got it, every single product was in there. But if I'm not willing to get on collagen and NRF2, why should I expect somebody else to get on collagen and NRF2? If I'm not going to invest in my own company and use my own products, why should I expect anyone else to do that? Hey, it's just part of it. It's a very simple, very, very simple concept, in my opinion. We need to invest in ourselves. And you know, the way to pay for those products, I know you're going to say, well, that's going to cost a lot of money. Well, get people on board and help yourself pay for those products, and pretty soon you're on your way. So that last one, purchasing from your own store, makes sense. My goodness, you buy vitamins, you buy shampoo, you buy hair care products, you buy skincare products. Why in the world wouldn't you use your own from your own store? And they are the best on the market. So that just makes complete sense. So let me see where we go here. Clearly I'm not a technology person. So that law of attraction that I was talking to you about, self-audit, would you follow you? Okay. And as I said, my story started a long time ago. A lot of the people that have purchased products from me, I've known for years. I started getting customers long before I ever started direct sales, just because of being the person I say I am. I have integrity. People know that if I say I'm going to do something, I do something, and they know that they matter to me. So if you're doubting your ability right now because you aren't a salesman, that is such great news, because I'm not a salesman either. I just was on a call with a consultant today, and she said, Sandy, you just make this look so effortless. And I said, I feel like it is, because I am not worried about the outcome. I surrender it right away. I just give people the information, and they can do with the information what they want to do. So that's a big part of it, guys. If you're not worried about, you know, I have some consultants who are like, oh, I lost that customer. I lost money. And I said, you never had them as a customer, so you didn't lose anything. Stop worrying about making money and start worrying about them. I said, this is not about you. This is about them. Find their need, provide the solution, and let the rest fall into place. So your life is your tool. Your stories are going to sell, your stories and the stories of others. So we don't, and I'll tell you what, with these products, we never have to deviate from the truth. And as you've heard people say, documentation beats conversation anytime. Take pictures, get those great stories. And we don't make any claims. You don't even need to talk about disease out there. You just need to show pictures. You just need to show people living their life. And speaking of, so we talk about the gift of grab, and that's a play on words there. How will they relate to your story? So here's just some of the stories that I have. I've got my bald head down here, and you can see now my hair is fully grown out. Guys, I went through cancer in 2015. I was diagnosed with breast cancer, and I had a bilateral mastectomy, 20 weeks of chemo, lost my hair. I was never activated until 2019, just so you know. So I'm not telling people I got through cancer because of activation. I'm never going to say that. I was totally good before that. I've taken very good care of myself all along. But I've got some of this documentation to prove that, prove my life. So I can put these pictures up on Facebook, or I can, people can just see me walking, and I am a picture of health. And so I don't have to walk around with this on my shirt, Life Vantage, or I don't have to walk around with a bottle of Protandim and say, this really helps me. Who wants it? Who wants to buy Protandim? My life is an example of activation. And so I don't have to be directing everybody to the obvious. Like, take a look here. Guys, this was in the jungle in Mexico when on our last elite trip. I'm hanging upside down, ready to zip line at the age of 58 years old, and I have a smile on my face, okay? I put that picture up, and I'm talking about zip lining. People are like, how does she get these free trips to Mexico? Okay, there's part of the business. I didn't say one word about a free trip or anything. But they're seeing that I'm traveling a lot. They're seeing me having fun, hanging upside down on a zip line. What are you doing, and how can I get that? I want to feel as good as you do. Do you see that? And that's just somebody making a post that it's going to bring attention. And so somebody that was in my class 20 years ago reached out and said, I cannot believe how fit you are. You still look just like you did in high school when we were playing basketball. I want to know what you're doing. And I'm like, you've got to get on this collagen and NRF2. You're at the age, come on, we know. And by then, you know, all it took was for her to hear that from me. And I told her, this is what you need to do. And because we have that kind of relationship and she knows I'm no nonsense, she goes, how do I get it? I said, I'll send you a cart. All you have to do is fill everything out. Your personal stuff, I'll make it super easy for you. Get on it. Let me know when it comes in the mail. And I said, and when you place your order, I'm gonna, when I see that order goes through, I'll throw some in the mail just to tide you over, because you never know how long those might take. So I'll send you 5 days worth to make sure that you have it real quick. And if yours comes quickly, then you'll have 5 days extra, you know, just as a padding. So those are things that I do. And so, or sometimes I'll go ahead and send that package out, say, I'm going to send you 5 days. And then they end up not ordering. Has that ever happened to you? But guess what? They get my package in the mail 3 days later. Thank you so much for your order. I put that on there. How would you feel if you got that package in the mail that said, thank you so much for your order. I appreciate your trust in me. And they haven't ordered yet. 2 women did that for me. And by golly, that night that they got those packages, they ordered the collagen and the NRF2. So, it just works out. And again, you got to be careful about how you sample people, but that has worked for me. This is one of my consultants that's on my team. I taught her when she was in junior high, and now she's a business partner. We have a great story. Here's a picture of my grandkids. You know, this is me back before activation, and now look at me. I'm telling you guys, 75 hard. Who is at 58 does 75 hard? I did, and look at my results. And there's me standing in Antarctica with a bald head. It just proved that life can be good. And so how are you going to attract people? You do not have to say, I sell Protandim, please buy it from me. Just make yourself attractive. Now, if you're kind of grumpy and that kind of person who posts stuff all the time, kind of crabby, and you got stickers in your panties, I'm here to tell you right now, people are not looking to join somebody who's negative. They're not looking to buy healthcare products from somebody who's always complaining about headaches or not feeling good. So you need to be thinking about that. How do you portray yourself? And don't be fake. Definitely don't be fake. But I mean, like, I'm like this all the time. I don't know, it's 6 o'clock here, 8 your time, whatever. I'm always full of energy. If you see me now, right now, this is how I'm going to be tomorrow. So if you aren't like that and you want to be more like that, go to work on yourself. Okay. Own your own BS. I hate that, you know, that's just the way to own it, and realize that you've got work to do. And when you become better, people are going to be attracted to you. Okay. Establish that list. You know, people are like, I don't know anybody. Yes, you do. You know people who need energy. You know people who complain about their joints. You know somebody who seems sad and unhappy. You know that tired mom who needs Axio. Start making a list. And guess what? Those people know people that you don't know. So if you give them a great experience, they're going to tell their friends about it. And if they don't want to become consultants, you make them a great deal. Say, hey, if you bring somebody on who does a collagen NRF2 pack, I'll send you a deal of Axio or a little sample pack of Axio or something. Okay. You know, a lot of people, just write it down if you don't think that you do. And then target your audience with messages about these categories. Okay. If you have a product group and you've got somebody asking you about joint pain, you say, hey, I'm going to add you to this product group. It's a really great group and you're dripping on them every day. I have my product group, separate Facebook group from my business group, and I don't commingle those because I don't want people to be turned off thinking they're being, thinking somebody's coming after them to do a business. I just want them to have a good experience where they can just enjoy being in the group. But if I put somebody in there who's been asking about joint pain, I might wait a day or two, and then I'm going to put in some kind of post about joint pain. I guarantee you, just so they're dripped on. Okay. Here's my best advice to you guys is to treat a person as a soul and not a sale. And again, you go back to the way you feel. Do you feel like you were just money to somebody, like you were just a deposit in the bank account? Or do you feel like they truly care about who you are? I'm going to tell you guys, I have, I think, 265 personally enrolled customers. And I know why every single one of them became activated. I know the story about every single one of those people. Okay, so you need to make them feel valued. You need to understand why they're here. And if you don't, then take 3 a week and go figure out why your customers are here. Okay, it's going to make all the difference in the world. Starting that conversation again, you invite yourself into their life. If you do social media, you know, start adding people out, adding friends on Facebook, but please do not do that gross, spammy, hey, I just started something, I think you're going to be really interested, and you haven't talked to that person in 30 years. Come on, how would you feel if somebody did that to you? So friend them on Facebook, start following them, or even if you can just follow them, liking their posts, and they'll say, hey, Sandy, oh, that's a name I haven't thought of for a long time. I wonder what she's doing. And then they're going to go to your page and see what you're doing. If it's completely full of LifeVantage and trying to sell something, they're going to say, oh, there's why she invited me. So make sure that you're mindful of that. Also, on your social media, if you're going to post something and you know that it's going to be grabby and people are going to be asking you questions, if you don't have time to respond to them right away, don't post it. I'm just telling you, it drives me crazy. I've got people on my team who will do this, who will go on live and they'll talk about the products, and then people are commenting like crazy and they don't answer them for 2 or 3 days, or maybe never answer them at all. That's crazy. So you need to make sure that you have time to respond. Another place that you can start conversations, community events, gatherings, church, guys, and you don't have to go up to somebody and say, hey, I want to talk to you about Protandim. Just have a conversation. And if you wait long enough, there's going to be an opportunity for you to say something about, you know, that they can be talking about, man, it has been such a long week and I am dead tired. I've had headaches. Gosh, I've got so much on my plate. And then you could say, gosh, have you ever heard about activation? And they're like, activation, what's that? Well, it's something that really changed my life. And then you can go into your conversation. Okay. You don't have to say, I know what you need. You need Protandim. Here, it reduces oxidative stress by 40% in 30 days. And it's going to, and then you're talking about superoxide dismutase, and they're just going, whoa, I just said I was tired. Now I'm really tired because you're filling my mind full of stuff I don't know. So think about that message. How would you feel if somebody did that to you? If you're looking for business partners or even just people who you want to get on product, go to a place and volunteer somewhere, because volunteers are awesome people who have big hearts, who like to give. And volunteers also get tired. So make sure that you take Axio so that you can maybe, you know, open your Axio while you're standing there getting ready to serve at the soup kitchen, put it in a clear bottle so that people can see that it's colored. And they're like, hey, what'd you put in there? Oh, it's going to get me through this. I need a little bit of zippity doodah. Hey, I have an extra one. Would you like to try it? It's very clean. It's very safe product. And they drink it. And by the end of it, they're like, where can I get more of this? Okay. But they saw you mixing it up. You didn't have to say, who wants one of these? I sell it. It's just opening up in front of them, having that conversation, mixing it while you're talking to them, taking a drink. They're going to smell that. If you open that powder, they're going to smell that aroma, how good it smells from the flavor, and they're going to want one. Okay. Also, be interested in people's interests. It's not just you. You need to be more interested instead of so interesting. So try not to make everything about you all the time. You're important, but if you are trying to involve yourself in somebody's life and add value to it, you need to make them the first and foremost, okay? And also be current on their current circumstances. If you're going to reach out to somebody personally, like, hey, I was thinking about you the other day, and I really think that you're going to love collagen, because it's just so good for your skin and just makes you look so young, and you're reaching out to a woman whose husband just walked out on her. Okay. And you didn't know that because you didn't check to see what was going on in her life. And she's like, oh, well, that's why my husband left me, because I'm ugly. I'm just making fun. You see, but somebody might have just lost a parent, or their child is really sick, and you're reaching out to them about, hey, I've got a great offer for you. We really need to be mindful of how we approach people in their lives. Okay. Send a tool. This is one that I love. I've paid for this, but biohackandactivate.com, explore your website, specific products, send them a cart, those types of things, but make sure that they see that ABC Primetime Investigative Report. Super huge. I'm sure you guys have that system. Do whatever Bobby and April tell you to do. Okay. Again, establish what they need. offer a solution and then surrender the outcome and just say, here's what, do with this information what you want. I'm going with or without you. Would love to help you out, but I just don't want you to ever say to me, Sandy, why didn't you tell me what you had? Okay, and then sample suggestions, guys. These are just some things that I do. I do a ton. This is right here, is right behind me in my office. I've got all of my samples here. I've got my packaging, everything. Guys, I'll tell you what, sampling and sending things out costs money. It is an investment, and I do a lot of it. Here was something I did when they were giving collagen cash. I said, on your second order, I'll give you $15 off. Well, if you know anything about collagen cash, you got $15 every time somebody ordered, each time. So I kept that first $15, and then when they placed the second order, then I sent that $15 out and said, thank you for your order. Guess what? I got another 15. So really, I wasn't losing anything. And they were like, oh my gosh, that is so nice of you to give that back to me on my second order. So that was one thing that I did. I create all of these on either avery.com or Poster My Wall or PicMonkey. There's lots of different things you can do. When Daily Wellness came out, I did this. When I send out samples of Axio, I send this. This is straight from the website information. Also, I send this out. I made all these, you guys. You can do it. It's very simple to do. But sometimes when people get a bottle of NRF2 from the company, it's just a bottle. It doesn't say how to use it. So I'm specific about how to use it. They're getting this from me right before they get their order. And the best part about sending them that 5 days that I talked about before, that 5 days of product before they get theirs, is that's kind of like a welcome gift. And now they have all the information they need. Even though I'm going to talk to them, they have that, and they can tell the next person that they talk to. Remember that these stack options, they'll meet budgets, guys. So really, take the time when people are trying to figure out what's best for them to show them the different options and where they're going to where they're going to get the best bang for their buck. This is not about how much you're getting on the SD. Okay. Please don't, I'm 20 away from 20 SV away. Will you please order this for me? That's about you. That's not about them. So let's find the thing that's best for them. Okay. Now, if you guys are like me, I had some people who were on just NRF2 only, very few, but I had a few who were just on NRF2 only. And when that price increase went up in March, even though they were getting the rewards, they're like, I had a gal reach out and said, Sandy, my price went up $12. She goes, I really can't afford that for one product. And I said, hey, let's do this. Get the three pack. I said, it's going to be a better price, and you can have it ship out once every 3 months. You're going to save on shipping. And she was so thrilled. She said, I did not want to give this up, but I couldn't afford that. You know what? That means that I'm only going to have that order go through once every 3 months, but at least I'm going to have an order go once every 3 months instead of not at all. And she's going to stay activated, and she's going to be healthy. So those are kind of things that you need to know about and to be able to offer to those people who say, I just can't afford this. Let's figure out how we can. Even this right here, guys, if they can't afford a month, say, how about if you took it every other day for a while until you could meet being able to take it every day. And people love that option. You're not going to get the same result as every day, but it's better than nothing. All right. So make sure that you're talking about those stacks and they know. And man, if you guys haven't added this, you need to add that in your life. People take vitamins anyway. Say, hey, I know you take vitamins. Would you consider doing ours? They are designed to be consumed in the morning and in the evening for the things you need in the morning, and then the things you need in the evening. And if you've never felt a vitamin, like I've never felt a vitamin, you're going to feel these. 30-day money back guarantee if it doesn't do what I say it's going to do. So just things like that. And if they trust you, they're going to try it. Okay. The reward circle, guys, speaks for itself. We're all familiar with it now. It is such a great deal. And so we need to make sure that we are really telling people about this reward circle. Some people will order just to get free stuff. I'm not even kidding you. And I love how when they check out, it says you're this far away from whatever. People will order something just so that they can save money. They'll spend $50 to save 10. It's the way humans are. Blows my mind. As far as follow-up and retention, I love the app. If you guys aren't using the app, you really need to, because it tells you when somebody orders, and it also says when the order is going to be dropping, and you can see exactly what the order is, and you can reach out to them and say, hey, I see that you've got this order coming. Again, thank you so much for trusting me. And that's a really good thing to say. Thank you for trusting me. I don't take that lightly. And then I see that you order the daily wellness all the time. Did you know that they just came out with a seasonal flavor of lemon ginger? That's going away, but that would be a conversation you would be able to have. You should try this one. And so things like that are conversation starters. I don't reach out to everybody every month. I kind of do this sporadically. And because I have so many orders go in on the auto ships, I choose 2 or 3 to do per day. Okay. Again, when the order arrives, tell them how to use it and make sure that they know, take with food or not with food. I tell people collagen is great. You can take it any time of day. I prefer mine cold. I take it first thing in the morning because when I wake up, I'm thinking about how good that collagen is and I can't wait to get it in my body. So I take it first thing in the morning cold, but you can take it whenever, cold or warm. Okay. Always encourage people to take pictures, even if they're just on NRF2, guys. Just say, hey, just take a picture of your face before you get started. And let's look at that six months or a year from now. That's already putting it in their mind that they're going to be on this product for a long time, because we're going to take another picture 6 months from now. They're hearing that. And I always tell people, give it 1 month for every year that you've been alive, because they always want to know, is it going to happen right away? Well, it may or may not, but please at least give it 1 month for every 10 years you've been alive. And then I tell them, for me, it took over a year for me to feel real breakthrough because of everything I'd been through. I said, but that's me. You may feel it overnight. You may never feel it, but science proves it works. Okay. If you've got somebody who hasn't placed an order, hey, Sue, I see that you've been busy. I know you're coaching and everything's crazy. I just wanted to check to see if you needed help with that cart that I sent you. Guys, I'm in the industry. I order a lot of product. Another thing I do, I order stuff from other people in direct sales, because you know what? When I order from them, they order from me. But I'll say, hey, I want to order this kettle from Pampered Chef, but I don't have time to put the order in. Well, can you just do it for me? Here's my information. I'm in the industry. I don't want to take the time to figure out somebody's website. Guess what? These people probably aren't ghosting you. They just haven't had the time. So make it easy for them. Say, hey, if you trust me and you give me all the information, I'll set up your account. I can put it on auto ship. I'll let you know exactly what it's going to cost and exactly when it's going to show up. And I can get that set up for you today. You want me to do that? And do you know how often people say, please, would you just do it for me? I've been wanting to be activated for so long, and I'll do it. And they're happy. Okay. And I just make sure that they know exactly before I click submit how much the order is going to be and so on. And I always tell them, I'm deleting your credit card information. I'm not keeping it on file unless you want me to. But I don't like to do that. Also, you need to make sure that you're very careful. They give you their information over the phone and not send you like a text with their information, because people could steal it. So anyway, again, depending on the response, do it for her. Remind them that you're here to help. And if they don't respond, just be mindful of how you react. Don't get sore and don't be offended. It's not personal. I've had people who I've sent carts to that 6 months later, they're like, oh gosh, sorry, I didn't reach out here, and I'm like, no problem. And I always tell people, I'm never offended, and I'm honestly not. I do not get hurt. All right. Handling rejection, never make it about you, and rejection is not going to bother you. If you don't make it about you, you're not going to feel sad. Okay. To me, a no is not yet. And multiple conversations takes the pressure off of the no. You might have 1 out of 20 people say yes. And with my sponsor, guys, when he reached out to me to introduce me to LifeVantage, it took him 4 times for me to even talk to him about it. And I think it was either the 4th or the 5th time when I finally said, what do you even sell? Because all he wanted to talk to me was about how I could make money. And so you need to think about that, guys. For me, I would never ever join a company unless I was sold out, and I am 100%, you can tell, on their product. I'm not going to promote something I am not 100% sold out on and believe in. And we have such an incredible product. There's nothing like it out there. You have no idea. If you don't have any idea, you have no idea what you have your hands on, guys. This is an amazing product. And then I want you to just take yourself back to maybe a time you were in a store. Let's say you walked into a department store and salesman come up to you and said, can I help you? And you're like, oh, no, I'm just looking. Have you ever done that? Okay. And have you kind of walked around the store and maybe tried a few things on and then just walked out and said, thank you, have a nice day, because you didn't buy anything? Have you ever done that? If you've done that, then you have to think about, that's what these people are doing. They're taking a look around and they didn't find anything, but how you react to them with that, are you going to say, okay, let me know, I hope next time you're in town, you come back. I hope you have a great day. Enjoy the rest of your day. There's a great restaurant right down there that you should try. The way that you treat them and the way that they leave, they're going to remember how that felt. Okay. So again, you just need to put yourself in their place. I can't emphasize that enough. Again, and even though we're so passionate, we know it's because we've swallowed the products, we've experienced them. They don't understand that because they have not yet experienced it. So they don't understand your passion. So don't be over like I always tell people, don't over adjective. It's awesome. It's amazing. It's, just be real with it and say, it's really has helped me. It's supported me so much in ways I never believed it could. Just be real. And then you guys, the most important thing is always to keep your friend. You don't want to lose a friend over this. You don't want people to see you walking down the street and they run into a stranger's house because they see you coming because they're afraid you're going to talk to them about activation. I've got tons and tons of friends who have never purchased one thing from me. And I've even purchased stuff from them, but it's never been weird. I've never made them feel bad about not purchasing from me. Okay. If you treat them kindly and you keep your friend, maybe they'll come back to your store. Okay. This retention thing that we're talking about, guys, this is something that I did when I found out that they were doing the subscribe and save rewards. This is something that I did in February, and I had a bad February. We had a very awful thing happen to the health of my daughter, and we thought we were going to lose her. And I mean, it was crazy. And I had planned on doing this all at the beginning of February, but I didn't get it done. But the best part about this, God is so good. It just ended up to where I had the last week of February, just right before the last week, to to send out these cards that I had made, and, thanking them for being LifeVantage customers. And it had pictures of my family, and people who knew me knew what this meant because Lindsay had such a scare. She had a pregnancy that went bad, and she almost bled to death. So anyway, they knew that I truly meant that family is everything. And so what I did is I got my customer list, and this picture of me right here is holding one stack of 5 that I sent out to all of my customers and all of my consultants, letting them know that there was going to be a change in the customer rewards program and that they needed to make sure that they had a subscription in March, and they needed to really make sure it happened because they were going to be grandfathered in for a better deal. And they were also going to get a $10 reward. And with every single one of those, you guys, I wrote a personal note to every single person. Now, if we go back to that screen that had the customer rewards, I sent that out to each person. But let me see if I probably don't have one here, but I sent it out to every single person. I do have it. Just a second. Sorry, guys, I should have been more prepared, but this is what I sent out to everybody. This one got returned because I had the wrong address. But anyway, you see, I've got a open immediately, timely information. And then they open it, and this is what was in it. And this was her note. So you can see I hand wrote every single note. And then I gave one big thing that had the general information that everybody needed. And then, of course, she got this nice little card from me, that little thank you note in there as well. Okay. And for my consultants, I just let them know that the comp plan was changing and all the things that they needed to do, and they also got a card. Okay. And I will tell you that costs a lot of money. You can think about the postage, but I had people who came back because I sent it out to every customer. I had people who hadn't ordered in 1 or 2 years who got on subscription before the end of March, just because I had sent that out to them, and they are still on product. So that really brought customers back. Okay. You guys can see this handwritten notes are huge. It doesn't have to be something expensive, just a little card, even instead of just happy birthday on Facebook, send them a message and sing them happy birthday or something. Make it more meaningful and personal. Okay. And then anytime there's a great deal, you've got that app. It'll take 5 minutes for you to send a message to everybody for the upcoming in 3-in-1 this month, if you get the 3-in-1, you're going to get the 2 flavors of Axio next month before it's launched in June. So you can best believe that in May, I'm going to be telling everybody, hey, we've got some Axio flavors coming in June. I'm going to have to be careful about how I do it because I don't want them to not order Axio in May. But anyway, I'm going to make sure that I am in touch with all those people and tell them the best price that they can get it at. Okay, so in closing, people might, and this is not mine, you've heard this a million times, people might forget what you say, but they'll always remember how you made them feel. If you make them feel valued, that one conversation can pay you for years.
Oh my goodness, that was so good. That was
Sandy,
really good.
awesome, awesome, awesome. Everybody, how about a hand?
Yes.
Great stuff, Sandy.
Thanks.
Took so many good notes, but I really love that it wasn't about you. It was really all about them. I mean, wow, that's really what it's really all about them. And it's not our calendar month. It's not our points. It's all about them. That is so special. So very cool.
Honestly,
Law of attraction, Sandy, and treat a person as a soul, not a sale. That is priceless.
Yes.
Priceless.
And I mean it. And they know I mean that. You can say it, but if you don't mean it, they'll know. People know fake. People know fake. And I don't ever want somebody to buy a product for me to help me reach a goal, to help me win a trip, anything like that. I don't really, like that's not what it's about. If you do all the right things and you do what the company has done and the 3-in-1 and things like that, honestly, I really don't even kind of focus on that. I'm like, I'm just going to do what I do and things will fall into place and your business will grow exponentially. And I've had a high sales volume from the get-go. I was investing in my business when I didn't have a lot of money to invest. So I know that I'm an elite and I know I have a little more money to spend, but I was spending this money when I didn't have money too.
Well, you have a huge heart and it comes through loud and clear for sure. So I understand why you have so many customers. They must absolutely love you. So that was awesome. Very good. Thank you.
Hey, any questions? Nobody used the chat, but
yeah.
Anyone got a specific question for Sandy? Go ahead. I think you were so thorough, Sandy. I don't know what anybody could ask. Yeah, you covered it.
Well, I certainly hope that it just helped them. I hope that you all see that you don't have to be polished. I'm not polished. That you don't have to be so professional. You don't even have to have beautifully curled hair and everything. I have great hair. I never thought I'd have great hair again, but and I have nice skin and all that, but I'm not perfect. You don't have to be that way. This is just, just be you. And people are going to buy you long before they buy a product. And how do I keep track of my customers? Very easy to do on the app. It's very easy to do. That's how I keep track. But I also have a little whiteboard over here too.
You use the message when they say you have a drop, customer, there's an order dropping, and that's your reminder to do a follow-up with them?
Yeah, a lot of times. And I'll tell you what I love about that. And I will do this whenever I send out a mass message. I tell people, I am so sorry for the impersonal message, but this is really important. And I need to tell 265 people. And I want to make sure you all get the message. So I tell them when it's not personal, so they're not just feeling like they're getting spammed. And you know what I get from people? Thank you so much for letting me know. Don't ever feel like you're bothering me. But I bring that out to them to say, hey, I know this might seem a little bit impersonal. They know me well enough, but I remind them, you matter to me, but I have to get this message out quickly.
When you talked about do the order for them, I mean, I watch April do that every day. They love that. And then in the future, we were just we spent a couple hours. I'd like to get somebody in the business, and he's a one-man band. So we went to see him today. And while we were in the car, 2 people text their orders to April. And that's the beauty of it. If you set up their account, they just text and say, send me 3 more of this, send me 5 more of this. And it's so easy, it's just so easy. But That
It
is
really is.
so helpful.
And otherwise they wouldn't do it. And another thing, you know, people who don't mind doing it, walk them through it.
Yep.
Because when they become consultants, they'll remember that you walk them through it and they will walk their people through it.
Great stuff. Any questions? Anything else in the chat, or you want to ask verbally? I think you got them.
It's awesome.
Sandy, you're awesome. If we could ever reciprocate on any topic, whatever, you just let us know.
Let's give her a big hand,
absolutely-
everyone.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. We really greatly
Welcome.
appreciate hearing from you. This is awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you, guys. You have a good evening.